Hello everyone. I would like to welcome everybody to this investments class, Finance 6460. This is an advanced investment class with a focus on equity evaluation. Previously it's called equity evaluation with the same title of the class, Finance 6460. My name is Kevin Zhao, a finance professor at MTSU. I've been serving MTSU students for a little over 10 years at MTSU. Normally, I teach classes such as Principles of Corporate Finance, Investments, Portfolio Theory and Management, TVA Investment Challenge, Financial Modeling, and these investments classes for MS Finance Master Finance students. Other than teaching students at MTSU, I also do a lot of research in finance. My area of interest are investments and corporate governance. I'm also a CFA charter holder at MTSU. I help MTSU students to involve in CFA programs such as participating in CFA Research Challenge each every year, and helping students to involve in CFA tests by sponsoring their scholarships. During the last 10 years also, I've sponsored more than a couple dozen students to get scholarships to assist their CFA tests. Now helping students to get a CFA certification during the last 10 years also. And in Middle Tennessee, I have a lot of students working for investment banks, corporations, and I would say if you are seeking to learn some serious finance stuff, you are in good hands. Now let's take a look at what we could achieve in this class. I think the ultimate goal for all of you in this class, not just to get a decent grade like a B or A. Instead, I think you invest a lot of money and time in this class and in this program. I think a more realistic goal for you to pursue is to learn the real skill, the real skill that it will be useful for you to find a job position such as a financial analyst or corporation or in a bank. So I would define the ultimate goal of this class is to train each every one of you to be a future competent financial analyst, not just average financial analyst, but a competent, a professional, and it's good, better than average. And in the future, on the job market, you will look at what kind of position that's available in the financial analysis area. I would say, even in Middle Tennessee, you will find a lot of financial employers such as commercial banks, investment companies, corporations, or financial regulators as well. And we have a lot of MTSU students working for all 5 different types of employers in this area. And they work as financial analysts for corporation, for investment bank, or credit analyst for a bank, or money manager for investment companies, or even financial researchers in PhD program or in other universities. In this class, what can you expect is 5 things that I listed here. First of all is your workload, your reasonable workload each every week. I would say a reasonable amount of time that you need to put in this class as a minimum threshold would be 10 to 12 hours. That's minimum amount of time that you need to invest in this class in order to be successful, which includes 3-hour weekly class, and a 3-hour online work or at-home work, plus 4 to 6 hours preparation each every week. So that in total that's 10 to 12 hours. And in those 10 to 12 hours, of course, we have 3-hour weekly meet, but you still need to work maybe another 7 to 9 hours To do what? Three important things. Read the chapters twice. Look at illustrations in every chapters, because those illustrations show you very clearly how to apply certain technique or certain method that we learn in each chapter to fix a real problem. And when you needed to solve questions and problems in your exams, you probably will need to use the same procedure or same method that you see in the illustration to solve the problems. So three important things for you to go through each every week. Chapters. When you read the chapters, pay a lot of attention to those illustrations. And after you read the 3 chapters, it's time for you to practice a lot of questions and problems. And those questions and problems are listed at the end of every chapters. And the third thing that you should expect is we are going to do a lot of work in Excel spreadsheets. So if you already took the class of financial modeling, that would be great, because we'll use Excel spreadsheets intensively in this class. We'll have 3 exams, and I want you to submit your exam in form of Excel spreadsheets, because those are questions, problems that you need to utilize Excel spreadsheets to find the solutions. And the fourth thing that you need to expect that in this class, we learn models, we learn theories, we do questions, problems, but more importantly, we'll do some real stock evaluation. And we'll have a big valuation project, which is a teamwork. You and your friends in your team will need to find a company of your interest, a publicly listed company. Then you do analysis or research on this company to find its intrinsic value, and then make recommendation to buy or hold or sell. At the end of the class, you are going to present your research during the last class. That's your valuation project. And in this class, we will learn a lot of theories, a lot of methods. But it is this valuation that can help you to put everything together. And you will read the textbook and all the chapters, lectures, and you will find that what the class and the lecture will cover is financial models that we are going to use to evaluate different types of stocks. But essentially, in those equations or models, you see a lot of variables, right? Such as risk-free rate, cost of capital, so on and so forth, cash flow, growth rate. And I mean, when you fix problems and questions, those numbers are given. However, if you work as a professional financial analyst, you need to collect financial information by yourself in order to get those important parameters and input in those models, trying to get intrinsic value of this stock. So this is what you needed to expect. Once again, you should reasonably allocate a minimum of 10 to 12 hours every week. We don't have many weeks to go, only 7 weeks. This is a 7-week class every week, 10 to 12 hours. And typically students did a really good job in this class. They actually spent more than 10 to 12 hours. Some of them tell me that they regularly spend about 20 hours in this class. 20 hours in this class, right? But they do really good job in this class. And the time that they invest in the class is pretty worthwhile, because at the end of the class, I look at their evaluation project, and some of them can deliver a professionally, the evaluation project that is close to a professional level. So not only they can be successful in this class, they can be equally successful on the job market and in their future workplace. So this is what a typical class look like. A typical class will last for 3 hours, typically on Tuesday or Thursday evenings or Saturday mornings. And at the beginning, we will discuss some financial news, most recent financial news. It takes about 10 minutes. And then I will spend about 30 minutes to review the online questions, problems that you that you covered during the previous week. And then we'll do a 15 minutes lecture, which typically covers one chapter. And after that, we'll have a short break, 5 minutes break. After the break, we'll do another lecture covering another chapter. So a typical class will cover 2 chapters typically. And after the lecture, I will spend maybe about 30 minutes to look at the questions, problems on the chapters that we covered during the class. So that's what a typical class look like. Here you see a table showing you what a typical week looks like. I mean, here it's a recommended study schedule for a typical week, starting on Sunday afternoon. And a lot of students love to catch up their coursework on Sunday afternoon. That will be great. And on a Monday, let's say we have Tuesday evening class, 3-hour evening class. Before you come to the class, let's say on Monday, anytime on Tuesday, please find at least 1 hour. If you cannot allocate 1 hour, 45 minutes, or even 30 minutes, it would be great. I want you to look at the chapters that we are going to cover in the class. We have a preview of the chapter. You don't have to understand everything in the chapter, but make sure you go through chapter for at least once. And then we will go through those chapters during the class on Tuesday evening, 3-hour class. And after the class on Wednesday, I want you to find another 1 or 2 hours practicing questions to problems in the chapters that we covered during the class. And in the exams, those exams are take-home exams, and each exam will have 10 questions and problems, and all those questions are from end of the chapter Q&Ps, questions and problems. Just that in the class we discuss those odd number questions, and in the exam you are going to solve even number questions for yourself. Exams is not teamwork, it's individual work. I want you to work by yourself, and I want you to spend a lot of time on take-home exams, because take-home exams actually give you great opportunities to apply the principles, method that we learned in class into a problem-solving process. It's very important. On Thursday, it's time for you to cover online chapters that we couldn't cover in the class. I mean, typically 1 week. I mean, for a typical week, we have 3 or maybe 4 chapters to cover. During the class, we can only cover 2 chapters. So you needed to cover 1 or 2 chapters after the class, and I call that as online chapters. And in D2L, you can find my videos for those online chapters. So that's the online chapter that you're supposed to cover on Thursday. And on Friday, I want you and your friends to spend at least 1 hour on your evaluation project. And in the next slides, I will show you what you needed to do each every week for this evaluation project. And on Saturday, you spend maybe 1 or 2 hours to practice questions, problems listed in those online chapters. So that's what a typical week looks like. You don't have to follow strictly the schedule look like. This is a highly recommended schedule for some of you, but as you see, the minimum, I would say the minimum workload is 10 to 12 hours for this class. And in the past, I asked students how much time do they spend. Sometimes they say, hey, I spent almost 20 hours during the last week. Yeah, doing everything, and especially when the take-home exams is due for that week, they spend a little bit more time. And for the evaluation project for the final couple weeks, they need to spend a lot of time on evaluation projects. So for evaluation project, well, evaluation project is a big project, and I would say this is a great opportunity for you to put everything together that you learn. You learn a lot of different things from different chapters, but in this valuation project, you actually assemble the entire puzzle together. And more importantly, you apply financial analysis technique and the skill that we learned in class, as well as the business analysis that you needed to do as a real professional in the future. So how to combine both business analysis and financial analysis together? Here you do actually 6 different type of works each every week that can allow you to deliver a professional level stock valuation project. In the first week, you're gonna pick the company that you're going to analyze with your friends and your team. Then you have a brief company overview to get understanding what a company is doing, how well they are doing their job. And the most important information that you need to look at is 10Q report, the most recent quarterly report. And 10Q report is not short, typically 100 pages long, but you don't have to read through everything. But here I want you to look at the most important things, such as what kind of business they are doing and how well they are doing their business during the most recent quarter, and how management address the current challenges, and how they prepare to take the opportunities in the markets to maximize their profitability. So that's a 10Q report and a company overview. During the first week, I want you to get a very basic understanding on what companies are doing and how well they are doing their job in the most recent quarter. And during the second week, I want you to expand your view a little bit to do so-called industry comparison. And this is a one dimension of comparison that you have to do in order to do a good stock research. And the good information that you need to look at is 10K report, which is the annual report of the last fiscal year of the company, as well as the industry survey that you could have found in Capital IQ. Industry survey is a very typical industry analysis, which tell you how a certain industry is operating, how many competitors are there, and what's their advantage, disadvantage, what's their strategy, so on and so forth. So during the second week, you essentially do so-called business analysis. You are going to get understanding how not just a company, how this industry operates. What's the most recent trend? What's the opportunity, right? And what's the structure of the industry? How the supply chain looks like, food chain looks like, and who is biggest competitor or leading competitor? What's the advantage, disadvantage, weakness, or strengths of the company that you are analyzing? That's industry comparison, very important part of your security analysis. And then during the third week, it's time for you to do some financial analysis of the company. And I want you to get access to Capital IQ. Capital IQ has all the financial numbers ready for you. And here you do so-called historical comparison, trying to find the trend of those financial matrix for the company that you're analyzing. You look at, let's say, 10-year history. Right? 10-year typically covers a business cycle. And you look at the important items such as sales, EBIT, net income, total assets, total liability, debt ratio, return on assets, return on equity, so on and so forth. Those are some kind of financial analysis. And you look at a current year number versus the number during the last 5 to 10 years, trying to find how companies growing during the last 10 years or so, trying to make a reasonable forecast regarding what will happen in the future. So that's a financial analysis. And here you focus on historical comparison by utilizing the data you get from Capital IQ. And during the fourth week, I want you to work on of valuation part of your project. It's time for you to develop the most important parameters such as cost of capital, cost of debt, cash flow, earnings, so on and so forth. But you don't have to put everything in financial model trying to get intrinsic value back. It's a preparation of your valuation. Get all the parameters ready during the fourth week. And during the fifth week, it's time for you to put everything together into your financial model in Excel spreadsheet, such as free cash flow to the firm model. And here I want you to use at least two alternative methods. One cash flow based model and one valuation multiple based approach. So two alternative methods to do the valuation on the stock of interest. And during the 6th week, it's time for you to develop a draft of the research. If you have a well-prepared draft, it's time for you to show me your draft, and I can give you some recommendations for potential improvement. And during the last week, you present your research to the class. You will have about 15 to 20 minutes to present research, and at the end of the class, you're supposed to submit your research report, the Excel spreadsheets where you do all your financial analysis, valuation models, and so forth, as well as PowerPoint presentation files to summarize your valuation project during the last week. So that's suggest the pace for your valuation project. You just cannot complete a high quality valuation project in just 1 or 2 weeks. You have to do this step by step, and each every week you spend some time on this valuation project with your friends, and make sure each every members in your group actually contribute to this valuation project. Alright, so this is a very short video telling you what our goals are and what you can expect from this class, and what the class looks like, what a typical week look like in this class. At the end, I would say this class is not easy one. It's not very hard one. It's a very reasonable class, but it's a very useful class. At the end of the class, when you walk out of the class after you present your valuation project, I would say at that point you should be able to possess necessary skills that you need to find a job position such as financial analyst. You can do really good financial analysis for corporation or for investment bank or for any other financial institutions. So that's our goal. But this goal is great, but it won't happen automatically. And typically students think, hey, this 7-week class, each every week we have 3-hour class. Okay, I just spend 3 hours a week, come to the class. That's all. Occasionally work on some questions, problems. That's all. But I would say that's not enough. You need to spend at least 10 to 12 hours a week trying to be successful in this class. My name is Kevin Zhao. I am your finance professor at MTSU, and my job here is not to judge you. My job here is to help you, to assist you, and to serve you to achieve your academic success in this class. In the longer term, I can be helpful for you to secure a financial career, that is in Middle Tennessee or in other part of this country. And also CFA charter holder can help you to involve in CFA program. So if you are interested in CFA program, trying to be a future CFA, just let me know. I can offer a little help. So yeah, that's first video of the class, just to give you a brief view of what this class look like, what we can get, and what you needed to do in this class. Thank you so very much, and I will see you in the next video.